So, good day everyone. No, we will be now discussing the part 1 for our chapter 4, the process of consumer decision making. Okay? Yan. So, by the way, no, this is our final chapter no, for this semester. No, we are already almost finished. No? So, let us define no, what is the consumer decision making process. Now, consumer decision making is the process by which people became aware of the identity of their needs, get information on how best solve those needs, look at the options, and make a decision. And when we say the decision, it is where they will decide either to buy or not to buy a specific product, and then evaluate their purchase and how they feel about that product. Now, this consumer decision making process is something that we experience all the time. Later on, we will give an example on how. Okay, so it is very important to note that the buyer journey, buying cycle, buyer funnel, and consumer purchase decision process are all names for the same thing. Kasi maybe you have encountered this concept in your past subjects. All of those terms, all of those terminologies are the same. In marketing, we call them as the consumer decision making process. Ayan. So the process include making a decision of about what to buy. If you look at the names though, yung mga terminologies natin kanina, they all mean the same thing. How a customer goes through when they buy a specific item or product. Ayan. To give you a summary, ito lang naman yung summary of something we will be discussing briefly later. So the process involves these steps. First is the need recognition or your awareness. When a customer realizes that they need a product or service, they start now the buying process, and it usually starts from this step. We recognize the need, something that is missing in our lives, something we need to fulfill. This is the very first step and the most important step in the process. Kasi the next steps will be based on this one, the need recognition. After being aware of the need, we will now search for information or research. Ayan. Customers are eager to learn about the alternatives at this point. Now, you will be deciding on the specifics. What type of product should I buy? Ayan. And the easiest way to research now on things na we are planning to buy is syempre through Google or internet. After searching the information, we now evaluate the alternatives or your consideration. During this phase, customers are weighing their options and decide which one of the alternatives is the best alternative. Now, why do we need to evaluate? Kasi syempre, since we have limited naman financial resources, we cannot buy them all. Or syempre, in order to solve that need, we only need to buy maybe one type of product. Unnecessary kung bibili tayo ng more than one. So we now evaluate which among the options is the best buy. Then after that, we do the purchasing decision or the conversion. At this point, the consumer is ready to make the purchase. It's time for action, and the act is to buy or whether not to buy. And last is the post-purchase evaluation or the repurchase. Immediately after making a purchase, buyer reflect on whether the purchase was worth it. Ayan. If they would suggest the product to others, if they would purchase it again. If you are satisfied with the brand, are you going to buy other products on that company? And what kind of feedback they would offer. Okay? Yan, yun yung summary. So, let's discuss them one by one briefly. So, the 5 stages of the consumer decision-making process. Again, yung first step natin kanina, di ba? Need recognition, to be followed by information search, then alternative evaluation, then we go to purchase decision, and the last step is the post-purchase behavior or evaluation. Okay? So starting with the first one, the need recognition. When a customer recognizes a need, the need identification stage of the consumer decision-making process begins. Kasi this is the first step. Sabi nga nila, you need to do this first before you do the other steps. Need arises from 2 reasons. First is your internal stimuli. We have normally, it is normally physiological or emotional needs, no, such as hunger. When you are hungry, di ba, what do you need to buy? Di ba, something to satisfy that hunger. First, syempre, beverage. Sickness, anong bibili natin when we are sick? Medicine. Sleepiness. Ano bang item, no, to solve this problem, this need, sleepiness. Ayan, for those who are, anong tawag doon, yung mga mahirap makatulog, di ba, we have yung sleeping pills. Sadness, ano yung mga happy pill niya? Some maybe food, di ba? Some maybe watching television, watching Korean dramas, movies. Ayan, some nagsha-shopping, di ba? Kasi I know many people na ang kanilang happy pill is nagsha-shopping sila, online shopping. Yan, that is one way to solve yung sadness, jealousy, and etc. Okay? We also have external stimuli, no, such as advertisement na napanood natin, the smell of yummy food, di ba? Minsan kung nadadaan tayo, let's say sa Session Road, madadaanan natin yung Jollibee. Ano yung naaamoy natin, di ba? Minsan yung fried chicken, no? That is already considered as an external stimuli kasi gusto nating kumain, di ba? There is already a need na kumain kasi naamoy natin yung masarap na fried chicken. Therefore, I need to buy that fried chicken. Doon ako natakam eh. Ayan. Let's have another example dito. A concrete example. For example, online classes. Ito. Yung pinagdadaanan nating lahat. No? As a student, what do you need to buy in order to survive yung online classes? Siyempre, a gadget. Diba? I'm sure na pagdaanan natin lahat to noong 2020 nung nag-start tayo mag-online learning. I need a gadget for online classes. That is now the recognized need. Okay? So we have again the internal and external stimuli. So for the internal stimuli, the physiological need, okay? 'Di ba yung basic need natin? Without a proper gadget, distant learning is impossible during the pandemic. Kasi naging basic need na po ang, aside from education, of course, this is a basic need, yung internet connectivity. Okay? Let's say na-solve na natin yung internet connectivity. We need to have a gadget, di ba? A gadget to be able to adapt, no, sa online learning. At hindi lang to basta-basta na gadget. Siyempre yung gadget natin, hindi lang yung keypad phone na call and text lang nagagawa. Siyempre, a gadget that can access the internet. A gadget that can download apps, di ba? A gadget that we can use in order to do our activities, our modules, our assignments. Ayan. So, nandun na yung physiological need. How about the emotional need? We need to adapt and survive the pandemic. I need to do this. No? I need to survive this pandemic because I need to fulfill my dream. Diba? Kasi some of you really want to become entrepreneurs, business owners in the future. You want to graduate. Diba? Meron na yung emotional need natin to overcome this online learning. So those are examples ng internal stimuli. How about external stimuli? Ito na yung nakita natin, advertisements. No? I'm sure napansin nyo na during the pandemic, dumami ang advertisements natin about gadgets kasi it is something student needs, di ba? So makikita tayo ng gadgets ng cellphones, gadgets ng tablets, nakita rin tayo ng gadgets ng laptops, and I'm sure dito yung medyo umusbong during the pandemic the need for laptops, di ba? Ayan. Or even something that we observe from our classmates. Ano ba ang ginagamit ni classmate na gadget? Ayan, di ba? Ano ba mare-recommend ni classmate na gadget? Ito, sabi ni classmate na ito, gamitin mo to kasi matibay to, mabilis siya, maganda yung specifications, etc. Ayan. So we are now slowly recognizing the need that I need to have this gadget, to survive this pandemic. That is step number 1. Need recognition. Now, after identifying the need, ito na, we search for information or our information search. When a consumer perceives a need and begins looking for a solution, ayan na, businesses, ito na yung mga nag-o-offer ng items, ng products. Businesses must be there to assist. And more importantly, where do customers often seek for solutions? Very simple, Google. Di ba? So you type in Google, ano ba ang kailangan kong gamit to solve my specific need? The amount of information a consumer needs to look for is determined by his prior knowledge, of potential solutions and the intricacy of accessible options. During the information search, we already have this stock knowledge on what item to buy. Yet, for us to make the best decision, we add itong knowledge na to. Aside from dun sa alam na nating knowledge, we really search, We really search for information to make the best decision. Ayan. For example, balik tayo sa kanina, yung gadget. Di ba? You have already identified that you need a gadget from step number 1, yung need assessment. Number 2 naman, information search. Ito na yung usually sinesearch natin kay Google, di ba? Kailangan ko ng gadget? Ayan, search ako best gadgets for online learning 2022. What is the best affordable gadget for online learning? Kasi we really have to factor in the price, di ba? Kasi siyempre, hindi naman po tayo mayaman, we have limited budget. Ayan. Which gadget are top rated? Which gadget is fast? Ayan. Yung maganda ang specifications and has a long battery life. Ayan. Very important sa ating lahat yan. Yung long battery life. Gadgets with either Wi-Fi or cellular data capabilities, kasi some of the students, they do not have any access to internet lines. Ang inaasahan lang nila is yung data. Kasi data, you can somewhat access them everywhere. And syempre yung gadgets that can be installed with apps that we need for online learning, such as Microsoft Office, yung Word, Excel, PDF Reader, Microsoft PowerPoint, ayan yung mga ginagamit natin sa online learning. Diba? By doing these researches, you are already adding knowledge dun sa stock knowledge mo pa. So, more information will be learned by the consumer. Ayan, yung information search natin. So, step 3 natin, after we do our research, we now evaluate the alternatives. There are a number of options available to customers now that they've done some research. Customers are aware of the brands and now considering to buy from one of them. Yan. So ano ba yung mga gadgets na uso na gadget brands na uso ngayon? Maybe if you are considering yung cellphone, di ba? You have Samsung, Huawei, Vivo, Oppo, ano ba, LG, and even Apple. Ayan, madami kang options sa pwedeng pagpipilian. In order to limit the danger of overspending, consumers will make sure that there are no better choices accessible to them before making a purchase. Kaya nga, we are trying to evaluate the best alternative among all alternatives, napasok sa ating needs, napasok sa ating budget. Yan, evaluation of alternatives. Going back sa example natin kanina. By the way, bago yun, their evaluation is influenced by 2 characteristics, the objective characteristic and the subjective characteristic. For the objective, ito na yung titignan natin yung features, functionality, okay, price, and of course, ease of use. Yung learning curve, yung sinasabi nila, kailangan ko bang aralin to or madali ko lang siyang matututunan. Those are objective considerations. How about subjective? Ito naman, feelings about the brand. Ito na yung your attachment on that company. Maybe you have experienced that from the past, from your past purchases on that specific brand. For example, kung Samsung lagi ang gamit mo, maybe you have a personal connection on Samsung brands kasi lagi mo na napatunayan mo na this item is good, this brand is good. Based on previous experiences or inputs from past customers. And if we do not have any specific experience about the product, anong una natin tinitingnan? Sa Shopee pa lang, di ba? If you are trying to buy an item sa Shopee, ang una natin tinitingnan are the customer reviews. If more customers are satisfied with that product, syempre, mas kampante tayo sa produkto na ating bibilhin. Okay? Okay, let's go back again to the example. Ayan, what specific gadget do I need? So, ano na yung mga options ko? If gusto ko ng phone, ayan, ang daming types of phone nun. Yung mga Androids pa lang. Android phone, napakadami. We have Samsung, Huawei, Vivo, etc. etc. Or if you want the Apple ecosystem, syempre yung iPhone. Diba? Those are the alternatives. Pero what if kung ang option ko is to have a tablet? Same. Diba? We have many tablet manufacturers, may have many such as Android and Apple. Ayan. And what if kung laptop naman ang gusto ko? Ayan. Ano yung mga OS na available? We have the Windows laptop and we have the MacBooks or the Mac OS laptops. Diba? Ang dami nating alternatives. Ito na yung we will try to choose the best alternative among all. No? Which is, napakaganda ng specifications. At the same time, pasok sa ating budget. No? But for gadgets, I guess for gadgets, well, this is my personal take for gadgets. Since you are going to use this type of product for a long term, might as well invest on an item that is has a good functionality, has a good brand, has a good customer service then once you may nagkaroon ng problema, and of course the quality na din. So syempre yung apat na yun, it will relate to higher cost, to higher price, no? Ayan. But then again, it will depend on our needs. Ayan. So that is step number 3. Now step number 4, it's time for the money. We have decided to purchase an item. Ito na yung purchasing decision natin. Once the consumer has made up his or her mind about what or where he or she wants to buy, this is the point at which the sale may be finalized. Ayan. Going back sa example kanina. For example, ang napag-decide din ko is I want to buy a laptop na MacBook. Ayan, Apple OS. Okay? Which is pasok. Kung kunyari, pasok rin naman sa budget ko. The reason could be is one advantage of Apple products over Android products is the service ng Apple. Kasi they are giving free updates for years, longer than Android. Ang Android kasi, the lifespan of the updates is around 2 years. Kasi mabilis ang turnover ng Android phones. I think every month, di ba, nag-i-introduce sila ng bago. As compared to Apple, na ang kanilang free updates will last to 5 to 7 years. So, mas updated yung gadget mo for that time period. So, if you are already making an investment, again, personally, ito ang best option. Ayan, especially for laptops, na durable na rin. Yung ecosystem, yung Apple ecosystem is much easier as compared to Windows. Anyway, yan. It depends sa inyong decision and budget. And let's say ito yung case uli natin, napag-decide ko na I want to buy this Apple laptop, and decide to buy this product. Click buy. Ayan. In exchange, of course, for money. Okay? And yung last step natin is the post-purchase evaluation. Consumers reflect in their most recent purchase during the stage of the consumer buying selection process. They consider their feelings about it, whether the purchase was a smart investment, and most significantly, whether they will return to the brand for future purchases and recommend it to friends and family. Okay? Ayan. So, we have decided na bibili na natin yung MacBook or yung Apple laptop. Ayan. Tapos, ginamit mo na siya and we are really happy with the purchase. Buti na lang ito ang binili ko. Ayan. So, anong magiging feelings mo about the brand? Usually, di ba, if you are satisfied with a specific brand, future purchases, gusto mo bumili, dun ulit sa manufacturer na yun. So, in the future, if you will plan to buy a phone or a tablet, gusto mo, dun na rin sa Apple. That is post-purchase evaluation. If you are happy dun sa brand or sa seller, repurchase will happen. But in the case naman na you are not happy, palitan natin yung case dito. For example, hindi ako happy kay Apple. Siyempre, in the future, as much as possible, you will try to avoid this brand. Ayoko na ng Apple, I will stick to Android. Okay? Negative feelings for a brand, pupunta ka sa other brands or you will buy another product. That is your post-purchase evaluation. So, that's it. That is our consumer buying process. Just a recap. Ano yung mga pinagdaanan natin? First step, need recognition. Second step, information search. Third step, we have the alternative evaluation. Fourth step, purchase decision, and the last step now is your post-purchase behavior or your evaluation. Okay? So that is part 1 of our chapter 4. So I will see you on the next chapter. Thank you for watching this lecture.